Hi guys, it's Evelyn at Twin Flames 3344. I wanted to explain a process that I went through this morning as I woke up. A huge epiphany. I'm not sure what it's going to lead to, but I went through it with my son and he was actually really excited about it. So I know if he got it, then I know that some of you guys will get it as well. I woke up, I actually went to sleep last night, not till 2:07. And I woke up too early this morning, and I looked at my clock and I saw 7:06, and I felt like I'd been drinking all night and threw up, but I wasn't nauseous, but I just felt like you feel when you feel like that, like I had been really drunk or I had a bad GI bug, but I just felt really uncomfortable, was restless sleeping all night, and then woke up literally like I felt like I had a really severe hangover. So I woke up at 7:06, so I was going to go back to sleep, but I first thought, well, it's not 7:07, it's 7:06, and I immediately got 76 trombones that it's Independence Day. So then I was going to go back to sleep as 7:07 came up. And then at 7:16, a friend of mine texted me, waking me again, but here again, it was the 6 before the 7. So I'm like, okay, there's a pattern here. Maybe there's a message coming through that I need to get up for. So at 7:17, I took the picture of that time and woke up, and I actually put on the Leo King, the live tower, Hermosa Beach video that he had up there. And he started talking about the Saturn-Pluto conjunctions and 12/21/2012 and how the Saturn-Pluto is coming around again at the end of this year to January. And I know for me that my native chart has Capricorn conjunct in Saturn and Jupiter, the same exact conjunction that happens on 12/21/2020. So it was very interesting to me. And as I was listening, and this was at the time 36:18 on his clock, and 36 kept coming up, and I was wondering, why has 36 been coming up the past day or two? Because that's the 10 of Wands, right? That's the burden. So there's a little trail that came up here. So 36:18, and of course 18 and 18 is 36, is the time on Leo King's video that I started processing, because the person on there with him brought up 61, and although I know basic astrology, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know all the subtleties about astrology, but when he brought up 61, I wasn't sure what he was referencing to, but I was born in 1961, so of course it sparked my interest. And anything that I bring up about my birthday today isn't just specific to me, but Spirit's way of showing me through my own birthday the meaning of us as a collective, okay? So it's not about me trying to draw attention to my birthday. It's about a message that's supposed to come to you guys. So as I bring up, or I hear 61, I'm like, what is it about 61? And then they were talking about the 61 being related to 30.5 degrees, like it's the ultimate occult, or knowing the unknown, which is, of course, is our journey. So I'm like, oh, very interesting, because I was born in 61. So I then was very awake, and also I was relating the 36 back to the 360-degree circle, which of course is very important, because it is the circle, the source contained in the human body. And then at 7:36 is when I actually ended up getting up. So here's 36 again. The end, the 10 of Wands, of the beginning. It's the end before the beginning of time, or not time. So they brought up that 61 degrees and then the 30.5, which is half of that. But 30 is the last degree in astrology. So I just kind of went with what I was being guided to go with. The 0.5, the knowing the unknown, as my voice is going. The unknown. 30.5 is half of 61, which is 7. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then I always been getting 3.5, half of 7. And of course, 7, it's very important to us all on this journey, because it's that very spiritual representation of us, of ascension. So as 30.5 out of 61, 7, is also the same parallel as 35 out of 7, half of the magic I was getting Mary Magdalene and the Wounded Warrior, which is the MM, and then the reverse of that, the WW, equals the Chariot, which is 7. 3.5 to 7 equals 3.6, the space between. So 3.5 and 3.7, the space between is 3.6, the space between. So here we are again at 36. So I had, before I had gotten up, it was a 7:34, I felt the butt connect. They always feel from my twin. And 34 is 7, so it's like another 7/7 prior to getting up. And then at 7:36, I did get up. And of course, 18 plus 18 is 36, but 17 plus 17 is 34. So along these lines, Spirit was guiding me to a process that I would unfold. So I go back to my birthday since I was born in 1961. My birthday is 9/18, which is the Hermit and the Moon. And I was born 15 to 16 minutes before the hour, because I was born just before midnight at 11:44 to 45 in there. So it's 15 to 16 minutes before the hour, or the 19th, because I was born on the 18th, but 15 minutes before the 19th, which is the sun, the first day of the world. So therefore the 19, the 11th hour, was the 11th hour, right? So the moment before the end of the world. So as this is unfolding, I'm getting the sequences of 9, since I'm born 9/18, and then 36 has been coming up. I had written them down, so what was missing? 9, 18, and then 36. So what was missing? 27. That's the next 9. And 27 is the Ace of Wands, which is the third energy, right? It's the passion, the inspiration, the orgasm. It's the third energy, the quantum leap. And then, of course, 18 plus 18 equals that 36, and 36 plus 36 equals 72, which is the day I met my twin. And then, as I write that down, the year that I met my twin, that year also adds up to 8, because 1961 adds up to 17, which is also an 8. So 2015 is an 8 year. And basically, since I was born in 1961 under an 8, this is when I was reborn, because of course I was triggered by my twin. So then I have the sequence of 36, 72, and 144. 36 is the 10 of Wands. It's like Atlas, even though I call the 4 of Cups I usually refer to as Atlas, because in the numerology book, the divine triangle, they reference that 4 of Cups as Atlas. But in the picture, the 10 of Wands is very much Atlas, carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders. So 36 is that 10 of Wands was coming up as Atlas. 72 is literally the 4 of Pentacles, which I refer to as the Divine Masculine's Heart in the Sirian Starseed deck that I use. So we have Atlas, and then the Divine Masculine's Heart as the 4 of Pentacles, which is grounding that stability, and then the 144 of the Spiritual Warriors. And then I was guided to look at what was missing in those numbers. So I kept looking at the space between what was missing. And also just referencing again that 36 is like the end of the world, the end of the 3D. And then the 144, the magician embodiment of the twins. And the Page of Pentacles, as I said, the Divine Masculine's Heart. So the spaces between the numbers of 36 for Atlas were 4 and 5, which is the 5 of Cups. The space between the 7 and 2 were 6, 5, 4, 3, which end up being 65 and 43, which is the King of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. But also the 54 in the middle as the Page of Swords comes up. And then the 144 is missing the 2 and the 3, and that's 23 of the King of Wands. So it's like the coming together of the 3 of Cups, of the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, the one who has master manifestation abilities, and the King of Wands, who's the man of passion, mastering his passions, with the Page of Swords, which is the message that they bring, and the Five of Cups, the grieving process, the shadow. So all these things were coming up as the process that we've just been through. And then the numbers come up. So from those numbers, I had 45, and then 6543, and then 23 of the King of Wands. And then the numbers missing from those numbers were the numbers 1, 7, 8, 9, which brings up the year 1789. So 1789 is, excuse me for just one moment. My son's speaking really loud in the other room. He doesn't realize how loud he is. I'll be right back. Hey, Chu, can you keep it down a little bit or go in that room? I'm like hearing you right in my ear. Sorry about that. So the numbers left were 17, 1, and 7, 8, 9, which is 1789. The 17 plus 8 is actually 25, but I was getting, let's see, 17, 24, 25 is the 7. Actually, I wasn't even adding them. It is 25 if you add them up, which is the Knight of Wands, which is definitely that passion in going forward. But I was getting the 17 separately, and then the 8. So the 17 is written 17/8 because it adds up to 8, and then it moves to the 9. So 17/8 plus 9 equals 26, which is what I was getting guided to write down, is the karmic end, because that comes up as the karmic number in the Divine Triangle, the numerology book. Or then 18/9. And 18, or the 17 is the star, the everything, and then the moon of the 18 is the nothingness, right, of the feminine. So 17 and 18, the star and the moon. So I'm going to move this down a little bit here as I go into my process here. So I was getting to add up the numbers, because I was getting like 18 and 18 is 36, and then 17 plus 17 is 34. So then I was guided to go back to 12 and plus 12, since the end of time started 12/21/2012. And 12 plus 12 equals 24, which is I always say is Omega. It's the end of karma. It's the Queen of Wands, the 3D end. But 13 plus 13, which is the Death card, plus 2, is 26, which is the Page of Wands, the inspiration, but also the official marked end of karma. It's actually creating the connection to the next cycle, because 12, there is no end. 12 is considered the end, but then death is 13, is actually just the transition into the next cycle or the other dimension. So that's actually the marked end of karma. Then we have 14 plus 14, which of course is the Temperance card, and the angels, and that literally is the two angels of the twins adding up to the 28, which is the two flames. Very literal. Two angels become twins. The 15 and the 15 of the devil and the devil, which is just the shadow of both angels, is the 30. And then that's also 15 is like 1/2 of 3, because it's the 1.5 is half of 3. So 1.5 plus 1.5 is the 3 of the Trinity. So it's the shadow side of the two coming together in union of the 4 of Wands with the third energy of the 30, backed up by the 0, which is the source embodied in the human. Then we have 16 plus 16, which are two 7s again here, but the 16s are the towers, the epiphanies we get. 16 plus 16 is 32, the journey onward with epiphanies times 2. 17 plus 17 is the star, as we know. All your dreams come true adds up to 34. Shining light in a heated exchange. Passion times 2 as you come together. 18 plus 18 is 36. And of course, 18 is the moon times 2, the feminine energy, or what's considered the feminine energy, the cooling off into nothingness, right? Because the feminine energy is the nothingness until the masculine energy comes in to make us something and everything. So that's the 36 again. the 10 of Wands, the moment before the hour, the 11th hour, the time before the beginning of the world or the time before the end of the world, the time before the shift, the change in dimension, and the cooling off to nothingness, the nothingness where hard work, it's hard work to not shine your light. So this is what you learn from that cycle of the 18 plus 18 equals 36, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, the 10 of Wands. In the cooling off from the passion to the nothingness, which you've had for several years now, you realize how hard it is to not shine your light. That's where all the sadness comes in, because you're not allowing yourself to shine. So then we come to the 19 plus the 19, which is the year that we're in now, but it's also the sun and the masculine energy, which add up to the 38 though, which is the new cycle coming from the Wands and the end of the Wands into the cups of the 38, the Queen of Cups, the feminine energy, where you notice that 3 and 8 work together because 3 equals half of 8. And you say, what? That doesn't make sense. Well, of course it does. 3 is literally half of 8. It's the reflection of itself, which makes the 8. 3 of the Empress of Gaia, Mother Nature, and 8 of the Sun because it's Leo, and it's bringing it all together. The third energy, the Moon, the Queen of Wands, the ego, is just the reflection of the Sun and the Earth. Man and woman, the 0. And I'll bring it over here to where I am, because I have the notes there. The man and the woman, the 0, the orgasm, the third energy, the quantum leap, the leapfrog, takes 3 to run to the 4th leg of the race. 4 years, the Olympics, the torch lit, the flame, the chariots of fire. So now we go into 2020 next year, and 20 plus 20 equals 40, or 2020 vision. 20 times 20 is 400, which is 2 who sit in Judgment Day. 2 humans embodying source energy, 2 as 1. The hangman of number 4 reflects 2 as 1 sitting in a chair, but it's just one chair because you're 2 as 1. The times when you sat on Jesus's lap on the park bench. 40, the 20 plus 20 is 40, which is the Page of Cups, the fish, the Jesus, and you note here, the time I have here was 8:20 that I wrote that down here on the side. Okay, so 40, the Page of Cups, the fish, Jesus, pure, innocent, unconditional love. So now we're back to 1961. 19, the sun. 6 is the lovers. 1, the magician embodiment. And my birthday, 9/18, the hermit and the moon. And what's missing there then is the third energy of the 27, the Ace of Wands, third energy. So I thought that was pretty cool. And as I go back up to the top here too, the day is number 20, which is Judgment Day. But I was just talking about 1961 and the 2020 and all those numbers and the Queen of Cups coming out of all of the hard work. And here we have the date of June 20, 2019. We have the 19, and the 6 and the 1 in that, as well as the 2020. All right, so we have 19 and 2020 in the lovers in the date today. And then the day adds up to 3811. So you see up here up at the top, if I can find my page there, okay? So the date and the day adds up to, and you see the Queen of Cups and Judgment. I was getting Sophie's Choice. And 1961 is 17. I was getting A Star is Born. The 10 plus the 7 is the Wheel and the Chariot. The wheel and the spokes and chains. And that brought me right to the Muppet Christmas Carol. And I was wondering, is that Christmas past? And my son literally knows all the words. He remembers, he's like got a photographic memory, and he just loved, he's like an announcer, and he would love to just announce the lineups of all of the cartoons and things that he used to watch. And he'd remember all of the words in the movies. And we loved watching the Muppet movies together. So then at 10:39 a.m., after telling this all to my son, I asked him about that. And he couldn't remember what Marley and Marley had said. So I looked it up online. And it was literally that 3 ghosts will visit Scrooge at the stroke of 1 for the next 3 nights. The ghost of Christmas past, present, and then the Christmas yet to come will come that final day at the final stroke of 12, right? So it's leading up to the hour before the storm, the moment of 12. The clock strikes 12 when Cinderella turns back into a pumpkin. So it was really cool because I remember with the spokes and the chains came up because Marley and Marley, when they told him this, they drop the chains. They break the chains. When he goes through seeing the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and Christmas yet to come, he's allowed to let go of the chains that bind him. Okay. And then when I was looking up the Christmas Carol, I also saw that Rita Marley had had a stroke, and the date that happened was 9/20/2016. So here we have all those numbers coming up again with the 2020, the Tower, and then the 9 of the Hermit, and then that equals 38 of the Queen of Cups again. So I thought that was pretty cool. Was there anything else from all this? Oh yes, I'm not even finished yet, just a little bit more. So the lovers in 2020 with the sun. After the end brings the angel and devil to the tower, the stars align for the moon and sun to come together for 2020 vision, clarity of 2 as 1, and the third eye, or the pi, kneel, like kneel down, integration of the masculine and feminine, humble servants of God. Okay, so that was the end of that. And I will tell you about the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read I did, because that was really cool today too. I just wanted to share that with you. Please let me know what you think. And I'm just going to close this with a little shot of Light Star's energetic picture that she did of me and my twin, because it's really cool, and I'm just sitting in front of it. Okay. She does really beautiful work, so you might want to check her out if you'd like to. Okay. Rise and be love, you guys. Bye.